Hey, what's up guys? I'm Tech E and you're watching Practical Tech. And I got something I want to talk to you guys about. These guys. I want to actually give a comparison about two very popular headphones. These are the Sony MDR XB950BT. These are the Beats Studio. I finally had the chance to really listen to and experience both. Alright, first and foremost, let's start out with the Beats Studio as far as looks and feel. Now, the looks of the Beats Studio is probably going to be more aesthetically pleasing to most people. The feel of it is very snug, and I'm confident in the build quality that I won't drop and accidentally break these. It's very sturdy feeling, and when you put them on, you feel like you can and be confident that they're gonna slip off. They're not always the most comfortable device. Now, these are over-the-air headphones. Now, basically what that means is that the ear is supposed to be enclosed entirely. It's supposed to be more comfortable, and not only that, it gives it some kind of like passive noise cancellation. They are collapsing. So they're easier for travel, but they don't rotate. If you're thinking about getting the Beats, you get a variety of colors that you can have the option to choose from. So if your styling is not titanium, you can get from white, red, blue, whatever your favorite color is, they pretty much have it. Now, the Sonys on the other hand, the way they look very awkward. I mean, they have a very over-pronounced air cushion, and when you have them on and you're just wearing these, I mean, you look different. But it's also aesthetically pleasing to some, which is kind of an enigma, right? If we're gonna give some personification to these. Plastic on the top, then we have the mesh of metal. We have the chrome here, these over-pronounced air cushions, which are very comfortable. These are, but they are good looking still nonetheless. I mean, with all of these characteristics, they're still pleasing to me. They don't collapse, but they do rotate. I am not as confident in the build quality of these. Not to say that they slacked at all, but I feel like they could have put more emphasis onto the build quality. If I happen to fall on these, I feel like they break somehow. You know, I've done bend tests on these, and you know, they're pretty good, but they just, you know, they're pretty okay, but I'm just not that confident. Now, the reason for that, I believe, is for how comfortable these are. And I can wear these for 8 hours straight and would have no problem with them. So just to look at these guys together, a majority of people are gonna find these more aesthetically pleasing to look at. So, and it's fine because it's a more clamshell design. These are just overpronounced, but I can tell you that I've gotten a lot more inquiries on these when I'm just walking around. Now let's talk about the functionality or the technology that comes within these guys. So more than just the drivers and, you know, the sound that's produced in here, we get some noise cancellation. Now, the noise cancellation, it's actually active noise cancellation to be specific. And what that means is that there are these little microphones right here on each side. And what they do, the technology of active cancellation is a microphone is on the outside cup of the air cups, and they are supposed to pick up ambient noise and at the same time negate the ambient noise, push it through the headphone so that it cancels out any ambient noise and things that may distract you from the sound that you're supposed to be getting from the music. So the functionality is there and it works decently. These have a rechargeable battery in here, lithium-ion battery. Once the battery runs out, these no longer work at all, other than to help you look cool. You know, most headphones work, period, with just the power from the source that you're getting from it. These don't. Also, on the side of the left ear cup, there's a little, on the Beats logo, you can actually tap that. It will mute the music and the noise cancellation. Sound cancellation is always on. So if you mute the track, you will hear that little I'm gonna do it louder than I actually did so you guys can hear it, but it's like a little hiss. And that hiss will always be there if you mute the track, unless you press this button, which mutes the track and the noise cancellation. And that's as much technology that you're really gonna get out of these. The Sonys, these guys offer everything except noise cancellation or active noise cancellation. Like I told you before, sound cancellation to some degree is built into majority of over-the-air headphones. So this has passive noise cancellation, which basically means that you put them on and these ear cuffs are going to block out most sounds and things like that. So you won't hear the AC that's running and stuff like that. But they don't have active noise cancellation, which means that there's no technology, there's no microphone here trying to pick up ambient noise so that you can't hear that noise. It has everything else. So, I mean, down to NFC connectivity. They are wireless headphones, so they have the Bluetooth capability. You get about 25 to 30 feet worth of range. Along with the NFC and the Bluetooth, you have full track control with these. In-track rewind, in-track fast forward. So meaning your track is playing and then you want to rewind to the next previous 6 seconds. Yeah, you can do that with these. I don't really have a problem with you know, doing that. So I really like the functionality that I get with these. I feel like I get a lot more options with these. The main thing that Sony is selling these for is bass enhancements, extra bass. That's what the XB in the name XB950 stands for. It has a bass boost, and what that bass boost does, it boosts the bass. The natural capability of these is to bring out the bass in tracks and to enhance it. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. I mean, there is a rechargeable lithium-ion battery in here. So now that I have both of these here, which one works for me? I'm just a tech guy. Whichever has the most technology will is what I would be going for. So considering if I were to base my judgment obviously off of just the technology and the functionality that's in them, then I have to go, you know, hands down with the Sonys. Practicality, starting out with the Beats. I can already tell you that this can be used in more ways just because of the build quality. You can use these in a gym. You can use, they're built snug and fit. I mean, these can be utilized in most scenarios to fit most things. So if you don't have to do a lot of things, like go to if you're not working out in a noisy gym where there are things clanking, or on a subway or wherever you are. For practicality, I think that this can definitely be used in more places than most other headphones that don't offer the noise cancellation that fit. They're pretty good all around headphones. I mean, it's only recently that headphones have really moved out from a space of just listening to music to adding other functionalities to it. And if you're looking for just a classic pair of headphones, these will probably be, you know, very suiting to a lot of people. The practicality of the Sonys, you should really be a gadget head if you really want to use this. A lot of people don't even know what NFC is. NFC is just a chip that allows you to communicate with other devices that are also have that chip in them. It's called NFC, stands for near field communication. I'm pretty sure majority of you guys already know that, but if you don't, that's what it stands for. And all you do is just basically place your device that's NFC capable, and you know, tap it, and next thing you know, it's connecting and it's sharing data, information, audio, whatever. The Bluetooth, the wireless functionality, everything that these guys encompass is all about kind of newer technology. Although it has passive noise cancellation, it's not good for noisier places. It's just not built for that. It is built for more like home, being at home. These don't seem like they're built for your active lifestyle. They're not built to stay on your ears when you're getting sweaty at the gym or just running outside or working out. These are more for a sedentary lifestyle. So it's less practical for you to utilize these guys in most scenarios in your life. But you may not be partaking in, you know, traveling or being in a lot of noisy places. So as far as, you know, which one's more practical, which would be the Beats. So just for, you know, practicality, the Beats win. Now to the thing that's important to a lot of people, especially myself, value. What am I getting for my money? Now, a lot of people will give Beats a lot of slack because they're like, well, I'm paying for them to advertise. That's not what you're paying for. You're paying for technology. They may be charging you for their advertisements, but you're paying for this. And it's kind of semantics, but whatever. You're paying for technology. And that's where the value comes into play. Let's talk about pricing. I've seen these typically MSRP for $300, $299.99, $300. That means you're paying for sound and the noise cancellation and the build quality. Yeah, that's what you're paying for. Is the value worth, for me personally, they're just not worth $300 for a pair of headphones that fit snug and that have active noise cancellation on there. You know, it's up to you, the consumer. The Sonys, as far as value, these retail for $200, so $199.99, $200. I've seen them. I actually bought these headphones for $100. Free shipping, and you know, and I'm really happy that I was able to get these for that amount. And I'm happy with the value. Now, what am I getting? What am I getting for this? Functionality, technology, but that doesn't fit every condition that I can be in for $200. Not the best build quality, aesthetically pleasing to some, interesting to say the very least. Very comfortable, although not very sturdy. That's what I'm paying for. Now let's compare them. $300, lowest I've seen about $269. $200, lowest I've seen and actually purchased these for $100. I can't, money talks. Sorry. If these two were priced at $200, that's just me personally. Last, but certainly to me the most important, sound experience. Let's talk about the Beats. Okay, so the Beats to me have come a long way. I mean, they sound a lot better, and the build quality actually helps that out. So these things all play into each other. This is your, I can play anything and be satisfied headphones. These handle music best with your equalizer setting set to flat or off. Don't tweak your equalizer setting unless there's a drastic reduction or something that you're wanting to listen to. But these are good overall headphones as far as sound quality goes. Not only that, they're clear, meaning that the separation is really good. These aren't the best sounding headphones ever made, and Beats aren't claiming that. But with the added technology that they have with the noise cancellation, which helps your listening experience, I mean, they do a damn good job. These are really good. Sound performance on these Sonys. The name says everything that these pair of headphones are about. Extra bass, okay? The natural capability of these, once again, is to bring out the bass functionality. You don't realize how much bass is utilized in everything that we do. If you listen to me now talking without bass, I'll sound very different when you have the bass enhanced, and this is talking to you. It's not your best down south rap music, or it's not rock, it's not something as bass heavy. It's my voice, but it is impactful regardless of scenario, situation, whatever. I will say that the bass on here can be overkill sometimes. Now, what I mean by that is this: if a track is already bass prominent, you may be a little bit uncomfortable with the bass that's in there, and you may need to tweak your equalizer settings, especially if you have the bass boost on. It is like the song sounds awkward. As far as the separation of bass, treble, good job, except for what I talked about earlier when it's overkill. Which one do I recommend more? My personal preference is the Sonys, but I can see why people love these headphones, because they are good looking. I mean, they're good looking, and they're more aesthetically pleasing to people than these overpronounced weird things, but they still look good. Technology, you get a lot more technology and functionality out of it. Practicality, I mean, Beats. Value, $300 or $269, the lowest I've seen. $200, $100. Yeah. Sound experience, I have an appreciation for bass, so you have to understand why I chose these headphones. If you're just a consumer that has an appreciation for music altogether, and you're like, hey man, bass is important to me, but it's not the most important thing, that's not what majority I look for. If you're looking for the mids, highs, and lows to be good, Beats in this. Now, don't get mad at me for what I like. This was for you. This is just what I like, but this may be for you. So if you like beats and you think that, you know, the things that I talked about are more important to you than what these have to offer, then by all means, choose the one that works for you.